Hello everyone and welcome back to Lotus Premier Education. My name is Amanda and I want to be your college tutor. Today we're going to be talking about how to answer the Dartmouth supplemental questions. So on the Dartmouth application, there are 3 supplemental essays that students have to answer, and we are here to tell you how to best approach these questions. So first and foremost, before you start a school's supplemental essays, you want to review your notes about the school. If you were able to visit a school in person, you probably saw a different side to that school. You really started pinpointing some key characteristics or traits that the school really values. And so before you actually start with the essays, you want to put together a list of some of those values. What is the school looking for? And what does a Dartmouth student convey? In our experience, some of the characteristics that we've seen that are really valuable in Dartmouth students are intellectual curiosity, a love of the outdoors, kindness and compassion towards their peers, and a real interest in the things that they are spending their time doing. Now, you've probably heard the phrases well-rounded versus well-leaning. And these are some of the things that are really important when you're answering a school's supplemental essays. Because for a school that has multiple different essays, they want to see multiple different sides of you, but those sides should work together. So they should get a whole picture of who you are as a person, but they should also learn 1 or 2 things about you that carry more weight and are a little bit more strongly read and received in the college admissions process. So we're going to start with a look at the Dartmouth supplemental essays, and I'm going to read some of them to you. The first Dartmouth supplemental essay is a why question, and we have another video on how to answer why questions. The Dartmouth why question is unique because it's only 100 words, which gives you a very limited space to talk about everything that you want to say. So let's read the question together. Dartmouth celebrates the ways in which its profound sense of place informs its profound sense of purpose. As you seek admission to Dartmouth College's class of, whichever year you're applying here, what aspects of the college's academic program, community, and/or campus environment attract your interest? In short, why Dartmouth? Now, just the way that question is phrased shows you a lot about the school, because several schools will ask a why question and just say, why this school? But this phrasing about its profound sense of place and its profound sense of purpose really shows that Dartmouth is looking for students who are self-aware and have a profound depth of thought. So you want to make sure that you're conveying that in the way that you answer your supplemental essays. Now, our advice for short why questions does apply to all short why questions, but especially for intellectual schools like Dartmouth. You want them to walk away from that one supplemental question with a key takeaway. So even though you can list a few main things about why you love Dartmouth, there should be one thing that they walk away with. That being said, you should start your why essay with some type of metaphor or some type of statement that's going to really tie everything together. So start with a brainstorm. When you think about Dartmouth, what about Dartmouth stands out to you? Maybe it's the color green, and you can write your whole essay about the things that are green on campus that you would love to participate in. Maybe it's the outdoors, and you could write about their symbol of a tree. But you really want to make sure that you pick one thing that is going to hold your whole essay together. Now, 100 words is not a lot of words. That essay is going to be pretty short, so every word really counts. What we would also recommend is while you're brainstorming that key metaphor or that overarching image, you also want to be brainstorming the other things that you want to say here. The why essays are meant to really show the schools who you're going to be on campus. So you should be listing a couple of the clubs that you want to participate in, some of the professors that you want to work with, or some of the classes that you want to take. So 2 big things in the why essay. Number 1, an overarching metaphor or a big takeaway. Number 2, the things that you want to participate in on campus that they will remember about you. Now, the second question. Students get to choose here. So required of all applicants, please respond to one of the following prompts in 250 words or fewer. So the first prompt is, there is a Quaker saying, let your life speak. Describe the environment in which you were raised and the impact it has had on the person you are today. The second question that falls under this category is be yourself. Oscar Wilde advised, everyone else is taken. Introduce yourself. So, what these two questions have in common is they're really trying to get to know you. One is about the environment in which you've been raised and how that has shaped you. The other one is just about introducing yourself. Who are you? So the way to answer this question is to start by really giving the school a sense of who you are as a person and where that background comes from. And you want to start by thinking about the main things that make you you. When you think about the person that you are putting forth in the application, what do you most want them to know? Now remember, by the time you're answering this question, you've already written your Common App essay, you might have written an additional information essay, you have your whole activities list, and you have this first Dartmouth Why question. So the answer to this one should show a different side of you. Who are you when no one else is looking? Who are you when you're at home or when you're in a space that makes you most comfortable? Or on the flip side, who are you when you're really challenging yourself? Another way to look at this question is how do you think? How has the world around you or your background shaped your perspective of the world? These are ways that you can start brainstorming these questions and really thinking about what you want to say here. Now, for the last question, there are a few different choices. We'll read all of them, and you have to respond to this prompt in 250 words or fewer. So the first one is, what excites you? The second one, labor leader and civil rights activist Lotus recommended a life of purpose. We must use our lives to make the world a better place to live, not just to acquire things, she said. This is what we are put on the earth for. In what ways do you hope to make, or are you already making an impact? Why and how? The third one, Dr. Seuss, aka Theodore Geisel of Dartmouth's class of 1925, wrote, think and wonder, wonder and think. As you wonder and think, what is on your mind? The fourth one is celebrate your nerdy side. We love that. The fifth one, it's not easy being green, was the frequent refrain of Kermit the Frog. How has difference been a part of your life? And how have you embraced it as part of your identity and outlook? And the last question, as noted in the college's mission statement, Dartmouth educates the most promising students and prepares them for a lifetime of learning and of responsible leadership. Promise and potential are important aspects of the assessment of any college application, but they can be elusive qualities to capture. Highlight your potential and promise for us. What would you like us to know about you? Now, these questions are so telling because they highlight a lot of the things that we mentioned at the beginning of this video when we were talking about what does Dartmouth value. They value promise. They value potential. They value your nerdy side and the way that you're pursuing your interests. And they value how you wonder and see the world. And lastly, how you make an impact. So this is one of the big things that we want to convey to students. You can really learn what a school values just by listening to the way they phrase things in their information sessions or even in their supplements. For this last question, you want to lean into that idea of your nerdy side, no matter which of these prompts you choose. This question should be very vulnerable. It should show us things about you that we're not going to get anywhere else, and it should be an essay that either means a lot to you, really excites you, or shows them something that you're incredibly passionate about. And that could just be a way that you approach the world. But it should not just be a fact or a statistic. It should not be an explanation about one of your activities. It should be something that really makes you, you. So, we hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel, watching our videos, and learning about the college admissions process. It's so important as we figure out how to best support you in your college admissions journeys. For more helpful tips, like, subscribe, and we'll see you back here on Lotus Premier Education. Thanks, guys.